and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kirstie Roche and today I wanted to do a super full glam, like a warm toned golden New Year's Eve makeup look. New Year's Eve is just around the corner and I thought what better time to sit down and film a tutorial and pack my face with a crap ton of makeup. So that's what I've done for you guys today. If you want to see how I achieved this makeup look, then just keep on watching. Just carving out my brows using Tarte Shape Tape. I'm pretty sure this is the one Light Medium Honey. And I just opened a new beauty blender. So excited to be using a new one. Wow, that feels so much softer than my other one. I've just zoomed you guys in a little bit better so you can see exactly what I'm doing on my eyes. Today of all days, everyone outside my house has decided to be super noisy. So I've got a guy just started a really loud motorbike. The guy that kind of like looks after the grounds outside, he was whippersnipping right outside my house right when I was about to film, which was really lovely of him. The first shade that I'm going to go in with is just from this little Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions palette. So I'm going to go in with this like orangey shade in the middle. So I'm actually taking this on just the Anastasia brush that came with one of my palettes. And then I'm just going to kind of start packing that in my crease. So I'm going to kind of place the colour where I want it first. And then afterwards, I'll go in and blend it out. And then this is my new favorite blending brush. So this is actually a brush from MAC. It's the MAC 221S, I believe. So I'm just gonna dip into a tiny bit more of that same shade and then just start blending that out. Now I did not set the concealer because I find the colors stick a little bit better when I don't set the concealer. So I've literally just gone straight in with this eyeshadow on the top. Once I've kind of blended that out roughly with my MAC brush, then I'm just going to go over the top with a clean brush just to really smooth out those edges. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with this like orangey shade here from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm going to pretty much pack that in the same spot, just a slight bit lower. So I'm just using that same Anastasia brush again. I just want to make that a little bit more intense. Alright, and then going back in with my MAC brush. So I do want to take that colour into the inner corner and the outer corner as well. I'm just going to highlight my brow bone now with this shade here before I deepen up those colours anymore. Alright, so the next shade I'm going to go into is this one here. So I'm just going to kind of pack this on the outer corner. And then I'm going to pack it on the inner corner. So I'm just going to blend that just a little bit. Pretty much just going to keep adding colour and then just blending it out until it's like as intense as I want it to be. And now I do feel like I've lost a little bit of that orange around the edge. So I am going to go in with a little bit more of the orange just to kind of bring that colour back in. So now I'm just going to go in with the Inglot Gel Liner. This one's in the shade 94. So it looks like this. It's a really pretty sort of shimmery, pale, champagne-y colour. So I'm going to put one little drop of the Inglot Duraline in there just to make it easier to work with. So the brush that I'm going to be using to do the cut crease is just the MAC 243. So with the brush, I'm kind of going to dip in and I want to pick up that colour on both sides because I just want it to be as even as I can get it on my eyelid. I want to get that edge really sharp. It's a little bit hard to do on camera because I go on such a weird angle. I'm just going to wipe as much of that colour off the brush as I can. I've just got a paper towel in front of me. And then I'm just going to kind of pat over the edges. Just to sort of blend it a little bit. Alright, so now I'm just going to go back into that dark chocolatey brown colour. And pack that right on the outer corner. And I'll do the same on the inner corner. And I'm also going to add a tiny bit of the darkest colour. So now the brush that I'm going to go in with is the Morphe M508. I'm just going to go into that dark brown once again. And I just want to kind of bring that back into my crease area. Now I'm just going to go in with this Inglot pigment. So this is one of the ones from the JLo collection. So this is J411 called Blazing Rose. So I'm going to go in with the brush first and apply some NYX glitter glue just onto my lid. Alright, so now I've just decided I'm going to add a tiny bit of this shade here. I'm just going to kind of put that on the edges of where I've got the glitter on my eye. So that is pretty much the eyeshadow look complete. Now I'm just going to go in and do the other eye, and I'll pop back in a minute. Alright, so the other eye is now finished. I'm just going to apply some mascara and some lashes, and then we can get on to doing the face makeup. The mascara I'm applying is this orange one called Scandalize from Rimmel. The lashes that I wanted to apply are from Selfish Beauty, and I think I vacuumed one up yesterday, so I'm really annoyed. Now I've got to find which ones I want to wear today. The lashes I'm going to apply are these ones here. So these are from On Lashes, and they are called, I don't know. Anyway, they look super dramatic. They're really pretty. So I'm just going to cut them to size and glue them on. Now I feel like because the look is already super dramatic, I'm not going to apply any liner. They look so crazy when I have no foundation on yet. These feel really massive actually, but you know, it's New Year's Eve, so it's like the one night when you can kind of go all out and be super dramatic. Alright, so now it's time for the base. So I'm going to be using the NARS Radiance Primer. I really like this one. I'm really over the whole matte look because my skin is so dry. So now time for foundation. I'm going to be taking a mix of both of these two foundations. So this is the Il Makiage 145 Woke Up Like This foundation. I actually really like this. It's just a little bit too dark for me, so I like to mix it with my Too Faced. So this is the Too Faced Born This Way, and it's in the shade Sand. Hello?
I just got out of bed from the other night.
Are you serious?
I basically slept for a whole fucking day.
Oh my god, I slept till 1 yesterday. That was so funny. So Johnny and I went drinking, not yesterday but the day before. We went out and had some drinks. That's my housemate's brother, and he just rang me and he's like, I've literally just got out of bed. Like, he slept the whole day yesterday. And I was thinking I was the only one that got super drunk, and I never get that drunk, and I was like wrecked. So I think we started drinking at 3 p.m. and by 8:30 I was at home completely wasted. It was so bad. Anyway, so I'm gonna mix these two together. I just do 1 pump of the Il Makiage and then 1 pump of the Too Faced. I wonder if I should use a brush. Foundation with a brush first, because I feel like it's not gonna soak up all the product, and then I can just kind of pat over the top with the beauty blender. The Il Makiage, when I first tried it, I didn't love it, but now when I mix it, it's got such good coverage and it makes me look so flawless. It's such a pretty foundation. I wish I had got it a little bit lighter, but if I have a really dark tan, I can get away with wearing it on its own. Since I've last filmed a tutorial for you guys, I do so many different things now with my makeup to what I used to do. So I'm going to do a little bit of cream contouring, and I like to use the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This one's in the shade Mocha. So all I do is just do a little dot here, and then I'll do like a couple little dots along my forehead. It's the 110 Face Shape Brush by Zoeva, and I'm just going to start gently patting that over. I find that this just gives a more natural sort of contoured look, but then afterwards, I've got hairs on my face, then afterwards I will go over it with like a powder just to set it. So I just kind of pat it just so that it's not moving the foundation underneath. I find if you're kind of going to rub it over, it's going to move the foundation from underneath, and you might get like a little bit of a muddy sort of a look. So I just really want to look really blonde. I really want to look bronzed and glowy. So I'm going to gently pat it down to the corner of my mouth because I want that really sharp look. Just with what's left on the brush, I'll go over my jawline. I'm going to try and scrape out some of this concealer now from my Tarte, just for under the eyes. Really have not much of this left. In the same concealer that I just used to contour, I did get a lighter one, but they gave me one that's just too dark, so I would need to be super brown to pull it off just wearing it on its own. Blend that out. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my air conditioning, by the way. It's super hot here in Australia on the Gold Coast, and I don't think I would have been able to film without the air conditioning on. It's just too hot. So this is the other concealer that I got. This one's in the shade Golden Beige. So if you're like a skin tone like me, this one is too dark for you. So I'm just going to kind of mix the two together. I felt like the other one was just a little bit too light and this one's a bit too dark. So if I mix them, then we'll be good. With the like straight edge of my beauty blender, I kind of like to pat over the corner of my eye to give more of a sharp edge. Just gonna highlight a little bit in the center of my face with the concealer that's got like none left. I'll make it work. Alright, I just want it to be a little bit bright. So I'm just going to really quickly go in with some Australia's Fresh and Flawless Press Powder in the shade Natural. So I'm just going to pack that underneath my eyes before they have a chance to crease. So I actually like to start now doing my highlighting first because I feel like it looks more natural rather than just sitting on the top. So this is the one I'm going to use here. This is the MAC Whisper of Guilt Extra Dimension Skin Finish Powder Lumiere. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. This isn't a super intense highlight, so I use a lot of it. I'm kind of just going to use this part of the brush here. Like, seems to be coming up nicely. So I'm going to put that up onto my temple as well. And then I'll brush it down the center of my nose, above my lip, my chin. So I'm going to apply that into my inner corner as well. Alright, now I do want to look super glowy, even though I kind of do at the moment. Now I'm going to just go in with a little bit of this Hourglass Ambient Luminous Light. So I'm going to kind of pack this all over my face. So now it's time to add a little bit more bronzer. So I'm pretty much just going to go over the same places I did before. And I'm using my MAC Give Me Sun. So I just want to be super bronzy and super glowy. Alright, so I'm just going to go in with a different brush now and do a little bit of that down my nose. So I'm going to be using Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Chocolate. Honestly, this product is a lifesaver. It brings everything back to life. I'm pretty sure you can even like put it in your mascaras and things like that. Alright, so now it's time for the brows. This headband, does anyone else put headbands on and they just really give you a headache? Alright, so I just got you guys on a slightly different angle. You haven't seen how I do my brows recently, so I thought I'll show you how I do one of them. So I'm going to do a line underneath. Then basically all I do with the product that's still on the brush, I kind of just touch my brow and pull up just to blend that colour up. So I do that all the way along. And then still not adding any extra product to the brush, I kind of just bring that into the front. And then I just kind of want to make a bit of a sharpish line along the top on the outer edge. I feel like I'm so much quicker at doing my brows now when I just do the concealer underneath it first. Now I'm just going to take the Australia's eye pencil in Blackest Black and just kind of do my waterline. So now I'm just going to go in with this shade here from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. So with that shade, I'm just going to pack that as close as I can to my lash line. Ah! My palette just fell on the ground. Alright, and then going back in with my MAC brush underneath that, just to blend out the edges a little bit. I'm also going to add a little bit of that warm orangey colour in too. So I'm going to go in with that same orange shade and just kind of add that underneath. Now because my eye look I feel is quite intense, I'm just going to go for like a sort of nude lip colour. So I'm going to be using Kylie Exposed as my lip liner. So I've decided for my lips, I'm just going to use the Girl Boss Demi Matte Lip Cream. This one is called Hustle. These are actually really pretty. Now just to make that look a little bit more interesting, I'm going to go in with the shade Empower and just pack that on the middle. So makeup is pretty much finished. I'm really liking how it looks. So I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of setting spray just to make sure it lasts all night. Or in my case all day because it's not New Year's Eve yet, but I think this is the kind of look that I'm gonna do. Alright, so this is the finished makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching today's tutorial. I really need to start filming again. Like I've honestly missed just putting on a stack load of makeup for you guys and showing you how I do my makeup looks. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.